it's Dawn Marie with Custom Comfy Crochet, and today I'm going to teach you how to do this wonderful crochet pocket pillow. I have seen some other ones, but this is my design, and I'm going to teach you how to make the pillow, how to make the little heart in the front for the pocket, and how to make the edging. Of course, all of this is optional. You could just make the pillow heart and not do an edging. You could not do the little pocket in the front and just leave it a heart. You can do whatever you want to do. I do want to tell you real quickly that I have this one, and this was done in red heart, and it was just a doubled yarn. So it was just red heart yarn, red heart yarn, and then I just doubled it to make a pillow this size. And just to give you an idea, this is my hand. It's like a small pillow. Then I took some, what I call a Barney knockoff from Michaels. Barnett, I don't know, however you want to pronounce it. I call it Barney. And this made a much larger pillow, and it's kind of hard. My camera is stationary right now and hooked up to where it is, so I can't really move it without making a big fit. Obviously, this one is much bigger. So let's say this one is about 12, and this one is about 7. So that just goes to show you. And then if I pull them out, maybe you can see a little bit better here on my desk, but they're still laying down, so it's hard to see. But at any rate, and that's just Hobby Lobby's Barney. So it's a much thicker yarn. And this one was just doubled red heart. So that just goes to show you the sizes. Also, I think for this one, I used a 6.5 millimeter hook. And for this one, I used an 8 because that's what the yarn called for. So the yarn size that you use will definitely make a difference in how big your pillow is going to be. And then, once we get done, you can just do a little note. You could put a little gift. You can do all kinds of things. And it really, just makes a beautiful little gift for Valentine's Day. So yeah. So, let me get into the materials that you're going to need today. For this heart, you're going to need, and for the yarn I'm using, first let me show you the yarn, okay? Because, this yarn that I'm using is pretty similar to the Hobby Lobby's knockoff for their Barney. And I know probably y'all are laughing at me because I say it weird. But this is just Michael's Barney. This actual name brand Barney. Yeah, so that's where I found that if you want to get it. But this is the thickness that we're using. So it'll be the similar size as to the maroon heart from before. So you're going to need a 8 millimeter hook. And then for the edging, if you want to do the edging, you're going to need a 5.25 millimeter hook. And you're also going to use this 5.25 millimeter hook for the pocket heart that goes in the front. Okay. And then you'll want a solid color. I'm just using some regular old white as my solid cover for my heart for the front. Okay. So I'm going to go through how to do this pillow from start to finish. The only thing I will do is I'm going to show you how to do the tops of the heart. And then I'll go on after that, okay? So you also need some stuffing, as I've told you before. If you don't have the money or you don't have stuffing in your house and you don't feel like going anywhere, then you can just use an old pillow or use old yarn, whatever you want to do. But I am going to be using some stuffing today that I have. I have a bulk amount of stuffing for all these projects that I'm doing. So you'll also need a pair of scissors, and you'll also need a darning needle. So I'm just using some little tiny scissors here and a darning needle. Okay, so that's what we're doing. Please like and share this video. If you are on Facebook, either we're going to be doing a Facebook giveaway. I have not forgot about that. Still going to do it. So please like and share. If you're on YouTube, please hit that bell and please like. Helps out a lot. Okay. So let's get started. So the first thing I'm going to do is I want to show you this, okay? this is not worked from the bottom up. This is worked from the top up. And the way we do it is we make these two little tops of our heart, then we put them together, and then we crochet down. I don't know if you can see this, but this is the tops of our heart. Okay. And so I'm going to teach you how to do this. You're going to need two of these. Okay. So basically, let's say we take this pillow. Okay. I wanted you to see what we're doing so you'll know. This is going to be the top, and then it'll work its way down, and then we stuff it. Okay. So we're going to start with that. So the first thing you want to do is take your 8mm hook, and you want to take your thick yarn, or either, remember, you can use a red heart or any kind of similar yarn like that and just double it and use the 6.5. The pattern stays the same. Okay. But we're going to start off with a magic ring. I'm just going to, I've gone over this in my other videos. I'm just going to go over it again in case this is your first time or you don't know how to do one. You're going to make sure that your yarn is facing down. You're going to place it between your pinky here and this finger. Then you're going to wrap your yarn around, going over this piece right here. You're going to place your hook under that piece. Then you're going to go through this and pull it through. Okay. Then it looks a little bit like that, which can be kind of confusing. But then this scraggly piece will be hanging down. And that's the piece that will make, if you did it correctly, will make your circle smaller and larger. And this piece will be your working piece, okay? So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to work 6 single crochet into the middle of our ring. So there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Okay, so there we've got 6 in the middle of our magic ring. And so now we're just going to take our little piece here, and since this is a bulky yarn, it's kind of thick, it doesn't move as easily. And so you just kind of slightly pull just a little bit, and it'll bring it together there at the top. Okay, that's what this will look like. These are a little bit hard to see as we go around, like especially in these light colors, but there's 1, there's 2, there's 3, 4, 5, and 6. Okay. So what I want to do now is I'm going to be working in the round. So I am not going to slip stitch. And in fact, I want to make sure that I have a stitch marker, because you are going to need one. So you either need a plastic stitch marker if you have one, or if you're like me, I lose those all the time. And so I'm just using a piece of yarn. Okay. But for right now, we really don't need it because we can count. We're going to go into our first stitch available right here, the first one, and we're going to do 2 single crochets. 1 and 2. Then you're going to go into your next and do 2 single crochets. 3 and 4. You're going to do 2 single crochets all the way around till you get to 12. So go into our next, 5 and 6. And our next, 7 and 8. And then into our next, 9 and 10. And then into our next, 11 and 12. Okay? So that's what it looks like so far. So let's count and make sure we've got that. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, and 12. Okay? So now what we're going to do is we're going to do our 1 and 2s. If you've watched my video before, you know what this increase is like. But if you haven't, let me just go ahead and show you. First of all, the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to put in a stitch marker. Okay, so I'm going to put a stitch marker right there. Well, it'd probably be better to use a piece of this bulky yarn, but I don't want to cut it off yet, so I'm just gonna use this. Okay, so we've got our stitch marker in, and so now we're going to do our 1 and 2. So I'm going to go right into my next available stitch, and I'm going to put 1 single crochet. Then I'm going to go into my next and do 2 single crochets. Then I'm going to go into my next and do 1 single crochet. And then I'm going to go into my next and do 2 single crochets. And then I'm going to keep repeating that all the way around. 1, and then in my next 2. And then in my next 1. And then in my next 2. We're just going to keep doing that all the way around. And if done correctly, you should end on 2 in your last spot there. Okay, so we're right back to where our stitch marker is, and I know that I'm going to put 2 right in there. So I'm going to pull out my stitch marker, and I'm going to put 2 single crochets right in there. Okay, and that's what it looks like so far. The middle is kind of bulge out a little bit, especially going to do that on this big bulky yarn. That's okay. I'm just going to pull my magic circle scraggly right there and pull it in just a little bit. Okay, it will start to curve. That's normal. Okay, so then I'm going to place my stitch marker right back where we just left off. I'm going to keep working in the round. And the next thing I'm going to do is 2 and 2. So I'm going to go into my next available stitch, and I'm going to do 1 single crochet. Then I'm going to go into my next one and do 1 single crochet. And in the next, I'm going to do 2 single crochets. And I'm going to keep doing that all the way around. So in the next, I'm going to put 1 single crochet. And the next, 1 single crochet. And in the next, 2 single crochets. And just all the way around. And at the end of this, you should have a count of 24. So just going around to the end. 1 single crochet, 1 single crochet, and then 2 single crochets. We're just doing our increases to make this circle a little bit bigger. And then now we're right back where our stitch marker was, so we're going to pull that out. And then we're going to put 2 single crochets. Okay, now you're going to put your stitch marker back. Okay, then we're going to work 1 single crochet all the way around, which is 24. And let's go ahead and count and make sure that we have 24. Okay, this is where my yarn is coming out of, so I'm not going to count that one. Right there. So I'm going to count this one. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, and 24. Always count the one on your hook. And so now we have the right amount of stitches that we need. So now we're going to do 1 single crochet all the way around for 4 rounds. Okay, so I'm going to go around and do a round of 1 single crochets with you. And then you're going to do those other 3. Okay, so let's just start with this one and we'll count. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, and then pull out this last, our stitch marker out for the last single crochet of this round. Okay, so that would have been my first and 4. So you're just going to keep doing that. You're going to put your stitch marker back in. Okay, and then you're going to keep going around until you get to 4. Okay. So what you're going to need is 2 of those. Okay, so what you would do is you would tie off your first one. Okay, the first one that you did, you would tie off just like this. That's the way it should look. You would work your last single crochet and then you would just tie off right there. So you'd have one top of your heart right there. Then you would do your second one, and I still have my stitch marker in and everything. Okay, and this time you would not cut off because we are going to join these 2 tops of our hearts together, and I'm going to show you exactly what to do. Okay, so what you really need to do at this point is, just to make life easier on you, work these tails in, but for the sake of this video it would take a minute, so I'm just going to leave them in there for now. Okay, but yeah, you would want to work those tails in. Okay, so now what we're going to do is we're going to join these 2 hearts together, and what we're going to do is we're going to leave our stitch marker in place for right now, right where it's at, and then we're going to join, okay, and this other one that we cut off and we tied off on, remember we're still working on this one, we still have our yarn connected. Okay, we're going to go right into the next available space after our last one on this one. Okay, so we're going to go right into our next available space and we're going to work a single crochet. Okay, now what I want you to do is move this stitch marker from there to here, just for now. Okay, let's just put that right there. Now what we're going to do is we're going to work 24 around. Okay, so just like we would have done if we were continuing on with the tops of our hearts, we're just going to go all the way around with 24. So that counts as 1. So we're going to go into our next 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. Go ahead and put my yarn on the floor. 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, and we're at our last one from before. We see we've still got our little straggly bit there. We're going to work in that last one for 24. Okay, now this is what it looks like. It looks like we've made a bra. A very pointed Madonna funky colored Valentine yarn bra. Okay, so now what we're going to do is we're going to go right into the available stitch on this next one. So if you can see here, this is what it's going to look like. We joined right there, and so now we're going to join on the other side right here. We can't go into this one because it's attached, so we're going to go into this one. So we're going to go right into there and work a single crochet. Now, as you can see, it leaves a little bit of a gap there. That's fine. We're going to work that in later. Okay, so there's one single crochet, and we're going to count to 24 again. So we're going to go around this little top of our heart. So there's 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, and 24. Now for this, you are always going to end before you reach the stitch marker. Our first stitch will be worked in the stitch marker, okay? So we're going to leave that in right now because I just want to show you what this looks like. We've done our 24 on each side and we have joined our hearts. I mean, well, the tops of our hearts together. This is what it looks like. There's a little gap there. We're going to fill that in later. And now we're going to keep going. And as we go further, it's going to come together. Right now, it does not look like a heart, okay? But so what we're going to do now is we're going to go around again, okay? The 24 and the 24. So technically, we're going to go around 48. So I'm going to pull out this stitch marker, and that's going to count as my first stitch. So I'm going to go right in here, and that's going to be 1. And then I'm going to put my stitch marker right back, okay? Just to give us a guide. You can also count if you don't want to use one, okay? So there's 1, and then we need 48 all around. So there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and the counting is very important, and that's why I'm counting. I'm sure it's boring and it's not fun to listen to someone count, but it's really important that you get your count right for this heart, okay? So I think I was on 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, okay? And they just keep going on. 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32, 33, 34, 35, 36, 37, 38, 39, 40, 41, 42, 43, 44, 45, 46, 47, and 48. And right where we're supposed to be, we ended right before our stitch marker, okay, with 48. So now what we've done is we've basically done 2 rows to get our heart started and get it joined. I am going to pull this out a little bit and show you what it looks like so far, okay? So as we go, these are going to kind of go in like this. And now what we're going to do is we're going to start decreasing, okay? So I am going through every round with you because I have watched some other videos for these pillows and they're a tad bit, no offense to anyone, but a tad bit confusing. and they miss out on a lot of stuff, and I could see where that could be very confusing for people. So I just decided to just do every round with you guys, okay? If you need to write this down, if you need to pause, if you need to fast forward, if you need to rewind, if you need to look on my blog spot later, because I'm going to try to get this pattern up on my my blog spot at some point, I will post that. But at any rate, I am going to give you the pattern in this actual video. So if you need to write it down, that's fine too. Okay, so now what we're going to do is we're going to start our decreases. And so we're going to start with 11 single crochets. So we're going to pull, remember, we're going to pull this out, our stitch marker, pull that out. And then you're going to do 11. So there's one, but we want to put our stitch marker back so we'll know where we're at. So let's put that right back. So there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and 11. So 11 single crochets, and now you're going to do a decrease. I'm going to show you how to do a decrease and how to hide it. Yeah. Okay, where you can't see it really well. Normally when you do a decrease, you go through both. Okay, but now what I'm going to show you to do is do a decrease only using the front loops of your work. Okay, so right here we've got 2. They're kind of hard to see with this barnet, but you've got 2 stitches right here, and you're only going to go into the front loop to do a decrease. So I'm going to pick up this front loop. I'm going to pull my yarn through. I'm not going to do anything. And I'm going to go into my second stitch, and I'm going to go through this front loop, and I'm going to pull up our yarn, and then I'm going to go through all of those for our decrease. And you see, it's so cool. You cannot see that at all. So that's how to do a hidden decrease. Okay, so we did 11 single crochets, 1 decrease, and now we're going to do 22 single crochets. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, and 22. And now we're going to do another hidden decrease. So again, we're going to go into the front loop only, the loop closest to you. You're going to pull that up. Don't go through anything. Go into your next stitch, front loop only, pull up your yarn, and then you go through all 3. Okay, and that's your decrease. And now you're going to do 11 single crochets again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and 11. And we've landed perfectly where we need to, right before where our stitch marker is. Okay, so we finished our round, that was round 8. So now we are moving on to round 9. So we are going to do 11 single crochets. So we're going to pull this out. We're going to do our first single crochet, and we're going to put that right back in. Okay. So there's 1 single crochet. now we're going to do 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and 11. Okay, and then we're going to do just like we did before. We're going to do a hidden decrease. So we're going to go in through the front loop, loop closest to you, and pull up, go into our next loop, front loop only, if you can find it. They are kind of hard to find with this, especially with this Barney. You're going to pull that through, and then you're going to go through all 3. Okay, and now because we're decreasing, we did the 22 single crochets before, and now we're going to do 20 single crochets. Okay, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, and 20. And now we need to do another decrease. Okay, so we're going to go through our front loops only again, pull up, go into our next stitch, front loops again, pull up, and then go through all 3. And then we're going to do 11 single crochets again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and 11. And again, we've landed perfectly right before our our stitch marker. So I'm going to pull out my yarn real quick, and I'm going to show you what it looks like so far. Okay, and as you can see, it's starting to come along. I don't know if you can see right now, it still kind of looks like a raw. But yeah, we're just going to keep decreasing all the way down until we get the look of a heart. Okay, so now we just finished round 9, and now we're going to round 10, and we're going to do 10 single crochets this time. Okay, so we're going to pull out our stitch marker. We're going to go into that stitch right there, do a single crochet, pull our stitch marker back, okay, and that counts as our first one, and we need 10, so there's 1 in there, then 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Okay, then we're going to do our decrease. Okay, so going through the front loop only to do our hidden decrease, pull that up, and go into our next one. Pull that up, and now we're going to do 20 single crochets. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, and 20. And then you guessed it, we're going to do another decrease. So going through our front loops only. Find those front loops. Do our hidden decrease there. And now we're going to do 10 single crochets to bring us back around to our stitch marker. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Okay, and we've landed right where we need to, right before our stitch marker here. And so now what we're going to do is we're going to do 10 single crochets again. So we're going to pull out our stitch marker, just like we've been doing. Put a single crochet there. Remember that counts as our first in our 10. So we're going to put our stitch marker right back. Okay, so count that as one of our 10. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. And now we're going to do our hidden decrease. So we're going to pull up on our front loops only. Okay. And now we're going to do 18 single crochets. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, and 18. Okay, so we did our 18 single crochets, and now you need to do another decrease. So using our front loops only, the loops closest to you, we're going to pull up and pull through, then go to our next front loop only, pull up, pull through, and then go through all 3. Okay, and now we're going to do 10 single crochets to get us back around. Okay, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Okay, so let me go ahead and pull that out a little bit and show you what it looks like so far. That was round 11 that we just finished. Okay, so as you can see, we are slowly starting to get the shape of our heart that we need. Okay, it looks just like that. So we're going to keep on pressing on, and we're going to go into round 12, and we're going to work 10 single crochets. So we're going to pull out that stitch marker, do our single crochet right there, put it right back, So there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Okay, then we're going to do another decrease. So we're going to go through those front loops only again. And again, they are hard to find sometimes. Go through all 3. And then we're going to do 16 single crochets. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, and 16. Okay, now we're going to do another decrease, front loops only. And then we're going to do 10 single crochets till we get back to our stitch marker. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Okay, let's pull that out and I'll show you what it looks like so far. Give my hands a break. My carpal tunnel is screaming at me, saying no more. But this is what it looks like so far. And this Barney just makes such a soft, pretty heart. It feels so good. It's so soft. But yeah, that's what it looks like. We're slowly coming down, doing more decreases and more decreases until we get the shape of the heart that we need. Sorry, I hit my camera. Okay. So that was round 12 that we just finished. So we're going to start on round 13 now. Okay. So what we're going to do is just like we've been doing, we're going to single crochet 10. We're going to pull out that stitch marker, do our first single crochet, put that back, and that counts the first of our 10. So there's our first, and then 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Okay. Then we're going to do another decrease. Going through our front loops only. Okay. And then we're going to do 14 single crochets. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, and 14. And then you will do another decrease going through your front loops only. And then you're going to do 10 single crochets. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. And now we're right back to our stitch marker again. Okay, so we just completed round 13, and now we're going to move to round 14, and we're going to again start with 10 single crochets. So we're going to take out our stitch marker, do our first single crochet, put that right back in there, that's the first of our 10. So then 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Okay? Then we're going to do another decrease. Front loops only. Go through all 3. And now we're going to do 12 single crochets. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, and 12 single crochets. Okay, so now you're going to do another decrease. So you're going to go through the front loop only of your next 2 stitches. Go through all of those, and now you're going to do 10 more single crochets. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Okay, now we're right back to where our stitch marker was, and now we just completed round 14, and now we're going to go on to round 15. Okay, so we're going to do 10, 10, and 10. So we're going to do 10 single crochets. So we're going to pull out our stitch marker, put our first single crochet right there, put our stitch marker back, so there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Now you're going to do a decrease, only going through your front loops. Then you're going to single crochet 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Then you're going to do another decrease, going through your front loops only. Then you're going to single crochet 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. And we're right back here, right before our stitch marker. So I'm going to show you what this looks like so far. We just completed round 15. So this is what it looks like so far. You're finally getting the real gist of what the heart's going to look like. It looks so cool. Okay. So now we're really starting to wind down. So we're going to do some more decreases now. Okay. So what we're going to do is we're going to do two single crochets. So we're going to pull this out, pull our stitch marker out, and we're going to do two single crochets. But I'm going to put my stitch marker right back in this first single crochet. So I'm going to put that right back there. Okay, so there's one. And now I'm going to do another single crochet. Okay, and now I'm going to do a decrease using my front loops only. And then I'm going to do two more single crochets. One and two. And then I'm going to do another decrease. Okay. And then I'm going to go all the way around with single crochets, and there should be 24. I hope there's 24. So let's start counting. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, and 24. Yay, we did it right. Okay, so there's 24, and we're right back to our stitch marker, right before our stitch marker. So we just completed round 16, and now we're going to go on to round 17. And we're going to do we're going to pull this out, and we're going to do one single crochet. Okay, so we're going to pull our stitch marker out, we're going to put one single crochet there, and then we're going to put it right back in there. Okay, then we're going to do a decrease, front loops only. Then we're going to do another single crochet, and then we're going to do another decrease. Okay, and then we're going to single crochet our way back around. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, and 20, 21, 22, 23, and 24. Okay? So this is what our heart looks like so far. We just finished round 17. Okay? And this is what it looks like. We're working our way down to the end here. This is the part where you are going to want to start stuffing your heart. I'm not going to do that on camera. I do want to let you know though that if you're buying stuffing that's already been bought and then you pull it out, it does come out in flat, usually in flat pieces like this. You definitely want to pull this apart and work it really well and then stuff it. I would suggest starting at the top of your hearts first and then working your way down, okay? We are going to do a couple more rounds. You can keep stuffing if you need to as you go, okay? So again, we just finished round 17. Now you're going to want to start stuffing, and now we're going to move on to 18, okay? Just like you already had all your stuffing in here. And in round 18, what we're going to do is we're going to take this stitch marker out, and we're going to do a single crochet. And then we're going to put that right back in. And then what you're going to do is a decrease, front loops only, and then you're going to do a single crochet, and then you're going to do a decrease, again, front loops only, always front loops for your decreases. Sorry about my barking dog. She hears someone wandering around, so she's barking outside at him. Okay? And then one single crochet and one decrease. And you're going to keep doing that all the way around, okay? And like I told you, it can be kind of hard to find these front loops. But it really makes a difference, especially in a project like this, so you don't have to see all those decreases in your pillow. Okay? So just keep doing a single crochet and a decrease, or two together, two single crochets together. I just call it a decrease. And it is a little slow moving when you're doing all these hidden decreases, because you really have to, it's kind of hard to find those front loops, but that's okay. Just take your time. Keep doing one single crochet and one decrease all the way around. And in this round, we're really decreasing to make the point of our heart. We're getting down to the point. And I know this is kind of a lengthy video, but like I said before, it was really important that I show you how to work all these stitches. They can be quite confusing with all the decreases and the different numbers. So you're going to end on one single crochet there, okay? And as you can see, just going to keep showing you how we're going here. I have to move this out because it's getting pretty big. But as you can see, we just keep going down and down, okay? So that was round 18. So now we're going to work round 19. And what we're going to do for this round is we're going to do decreases all the way around, okay? So this first one that we pull, we're going to pull out our stitch marker, is actually going to be a decrease, okay? So I'm going to lay that right down there, and I'm going to work a decrease. I'm going to go right into my first stitch here, but go into my front loop only. So we're just going right in, if I can find it, to this front loop. Okay, and then right right into my second front loop, pull through both of those there, and then I'm going to put my stitch marker right back because I want to still know where I need to go here. Okay, and we're just going to keep doing that all the way around. In every stitch we're going to be doing 2 together or a decrease, however you want to call it. And we're going to try to work only through our front loops. If you can't work through your front loop, if you can't find it, it's okay. You can do a normal 2 together if you need to. It just looks better to do it like this, but it's not the end of the world if you cannot find the front loop, because this Barney really kind of melds itself together with the other piece. It's just the type of yarn it is. It's just very close textured, which makes a great pillow because you really don't have to worry about gaps with this at all, and it's very soft. I think you could even do a really cool amigami stuffed animal with this, but it would be large because this is some big yarn. Okay, so just going around, decreasing all the way around, trying to find all my front loops. Probably missing one every now and then myself because they are hard to see. But this decrease round really starts to really make our heart smaller. Now for this round, on our last one, we do not have the room to do another decrease. So I want you to just put 1 single crochet in that last stitch, okay, right before where we have our stitch marker. Okay, so this is what it looks like. We're getting right down to the very end of our heart. That's what it looks like so far. Okay. So now what we're going to do is we're going to do another decrease round, okay, to finish off here. So you're going to remove your stitch marker and do just like we did in the previous round. We're just going to do our decreases all the way around. So I'm just going to pull this, going through our front loops only, and I'm going to do 2 together or decrease, whatever you want to call it, and then I'm going to put my stitch marker right back where it was. Okay, and then I'm just going to continue on with my decreases, which isn't too many because we've worked our way down to not very many stitches now at all. Okay, so we're just working through those front loops again. Just going to go all the way around. Doing our decreases. And as it gets smaller, it's kind of a little bit harder to work to find all of these and see them, but you can do it. Okay, so now we've worked right back around to where our stitch marker is. So I want to pull that stitch marker out, and now I want to count the stitches that we're left with here, okay, if I can even see them. So basically 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So we're left with 5. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to slip stitch to close this round, okay? This is what it looks like. Okay, but to close this up, the way I like to do it is to do slip stitches. Okay, I'm just hoping you can see that. It's such a large pillow. Well, it's not really that large, but for my camera it's large. So I'm just going to go in each one of these 5 stitches and I'm going to do a slip stitch to close. I'm going to go right through and do 1. I go right through my next, do 2, and my next 3, my next 4, and in my next 5. Okay, And that pretty much closes up the end of the heart. You can see maybe just a tiny bit. So you want to cut off, and you'll want to sew that up just a little bit. I'll go ahead and at least cut it off and show you. I'm not going to sew it up because I know you know how to do that, but we're going to cut off now with leaving enough to work in our yarn. We're just going to tie off. And then what you could do is you take your darning needle and then you would just kind of loop over, okay, just to close that up, just so no stuffing or anything comes out. But I actually think it might be okay, but that's up to you, however you want to do it there. But that's what it looks like. What a gorgeous heart that we made with this beautiful Barnet yarn. And now what I'm going to show you how to do is I'm going to show you how to make the heart for the center, okay? Now I will want to tell you for this one, which is similar to the one that we just made, this heart is a little bit bigger. If you're going to just double your red heart yarn, sorry, my pillow fell. If you're going to just double red heart yarn, then this one is a little bit smaller than the other one, okay? So, but I'm going to show you the difference in case you want to make a smaller pillow or you don't have that Barnet yarn. I'm going to show you the difference in these two. They're just, one heart's a little bit bigger than the other, okay? So, let's go ahead and get to that because the edging is actually very easy. I'm going to show you just a little bit on how to do that in just a minute. Okay, but let's go ahead and we're going to take our white yarn. And I think that'll go really pretty with that. Just be a white heart on top of all that multicolored. Okay, and we're going to take our 5.25 millimeter hook and we're going to do a magic circle. Okay. Let me move this stuff out of the way. So we're going to do our magic circle that I told you how to do in the very beginning. And sometimes even for me, these magic circles, I've gotten so used to using that large hook now, and we've got this little yarn, this little hook. Okay, so now what we're going to do is we're going to make a heart just like you would normally do if you know how to do it for a magic circle heart. But we're going to do that and we're just going to compound on that and make it even bigger. Okay, so we're going to chain 3, 1, 2, and 3, and we're going to do 3 treble crochets in the circle of our heart. So here's 1 treble crochet. And if you don't know how to do trebles or stitches, I have beginner videos and treble crochet, how to do treble crochets, okay? So there's 1, actually 2, and we need 4. So we're going to count this first one as 1. Okay? So there's 3, and this will be our 4th treble crochet, okay? Then we're going to do, and I'm going to tighten this up just a little bit, then we're going to do 4 double crochets. 1, 2, 3, and 4. Okay, now we're going to work 1 treble crochet. Okay, and then we're going to mirror the other side. We're going to do 4 double crochets. And then we're going to work 4 treble crochets. 1, 2, 3, and 4. Okay, Then you're going to take your magic circle little loopy thing hanging down, and you're just going to tighten it all up. Okay, just like that. And then you're going to chain 2. And you're going to go right down into the middle of your heart, and you're going to do a slip stitch. Okay, just like that. And I'm just going to tighten this up pretty well there. And now we've got the middle of our heart that we're going to make. And we're just going to work off of this and make it bigger and bigger to make the pocket. Okay? This is going to be sewn onto the front of your pillow. And it will actually make the pocket for whatever you want to put in it. Okay. So now what we're going to do is we're going to do, if I can find my yarn here, we're going to be working right into the top of this chain of 3 that we did previously, and we're going to work 3 single crochets. So we're going to do 1 single crochet in each of these stitches right here. So 1, 2, and 3. Okay. And right after you do that, in this first available spot right here, after you work those 3 single crochets, you're going to do a double crochet, and then you're going to chain 1. Then you're going to go right into your next available spot right here after this, and you're going to do a double crochet, chain 1. Then you're going to go right into the next one and do a double crochet, chain 1. And then right into your next available spot, double crochet, chain 1. And then right into your next spot, double crochet, chain 1. And again into your next available spot, double crochet, chain 1. And then you're going to do another double crochet and chain 1. Now you're at the spot where you need to make the pointy end of your heart. So at this juncture, you're going to do a treble crochet right into the top of this stitch right here. Okay. Then you're going to chain 1, and then you're going to right into your next available spot and do a double crochet, chain 1. And right here in between these two, double crochet, chain 1. You're going to keep doing that all the way till you get to the top of your heart. Double crochet, chain 1. Okay, and now we're at our last one right here, double crochet, chain 1. And I know that because now I've reached the point where I need to work into these last 3 single crochets. Okay, so I'm going to go right into this one, this first single crochet right after that, and do a single crochet. Into my next, do a single crochet, and then into my next, do a single crochet. Then what I'm going to do is right here, there's a little spot right there, right in between these, and I'm going to work a slip stitch. Okay. Now I'm just going to show you real quick. As you can see, as we work, our magic circle is trying to come undone. All you have to do is tighten that up. And in the end, after we're done, you can just sew it in and it'll keep it tight. Okay. So now what we're going to do, this is our last round for our small heart. Okay. So if you did this one, if you doubled up on your red heart and then used a 6.5, so you're not working with any bulky yarn, you would just do this. This is the kind size heart that you would need. Okay, so we're working on our last round of that one. So again, we're going to go right into those 3 single crochets that we did before, and we're going to do again 3 single crochets right over them. 1, 2, and 3. Okay, Then in your next available spot, you're going to work a puff stitch, okay? So what you're going to do is you're going to yarn over, go into your first available spot there, your chain 1 spot. You're going to pull up 1, yarn over, go through, pull up 2, yarn over, go through, pull up 3, and then go through all of your stitches there. All of the loops on your hook, excuse me. And then you're going to chain 1. You're going to go into your next available spot, and you're going to do the same thing, another puff stitch. 1, 2, and 3, and then go through all the loops. Okay, chain 1, go into your next available stitch, or your chain 1 space. 1, 2, 3, make a puff stitch, chain 1. Again, I'm going to do that a little bit slower so you can see. You're going to yarn over, go into your chain 1 space, bring up your yarn, don't go through anything, yarn over, pull up your yarn, that's the second time, yarn over, pull up your yarn, that's the third time, and then you go through all 3 and chain 1. Or not all 3, but you go through all your loops on your hook. Okay? So you're going to keep doing that until you get to that previous treble there at the bottom of your heart. Okay, you're just going to keep doing puff stitches and chain 1s. Until you get to that treble right here. Okay. If you do need to put a stitch marker on that so you don't use it, that might be a wise idea, just so you don't lose where your treble is. But I know now that I'm at my treble, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to work a puff stitch right into the bottom of that. Instead of into my chain 1, I'm going to work right into the stitch, okay? So right into the top of that stitch. Whereas before I was just going into the chain 1 space, I'm working right into that. 1, do a puff stitch just like we've been doing. Go through there 3 times and then go through all the loops and chain 1. Then I'm going to keep going just like we have before. I'm going to go right into my next available spot and do a puff stitch. Oh my goodness. Let's see if I can get back in all those loops. I did it. Okay, and chain 1. Go into your next available spot, do another puff stitch. Chain 1, and again you're just working all the way around till you get to those 3 single crochets that we did from the previous round on this side of the heart. And I'm just working a little bit fastly here so that we can get up to the top. So now I know I'm working into my last one because I know I need to work in these 3 stitches right here, okay, these 3 single crochets. Okay, so then I'm going to, and actually, I'm so sorry, I think you do need to work another one right here, but this one is kind of hard to see. So if you're working along with me, when you get to the spot, you are going to need another puff stitch. And I don't know why, but on this side, it's a little harder to see that you need it. But just remember, you're trying to get back to where those 3 single crochets are, and see, now I can see them clearly. So there's 1, 2, and 3 single crochets. And then I'm going to go right back into this middle spot right here that we've been working into and do a slip stitch. Okay, now you are finished with the heart that you need for your small pillow if you're just doubling your red heart. Okay, but now if you're going to do this for the big Barney pillow, then you need to do one more round of the round we just did. It is exactly the same, the 3 single crochets and the puff stitch all the way around, and don't forget to put one right here at the bottom. Okay, a puff stitch right on the top of that one. So when you get down here to the very end, you would do actually you would do a treble crochet right into this very end to give it its point, and then you would just continue on doing your puff stitches in every round. Okay, but this is for the small one, So I'm just going to go ahead and cut off, and I'm going to show you. So you would just tie off there. And it makes a pretty little heart. Then I would just pull this again to get it really tight. Okay. And then I would take my pillow, and it would already be stuffed. Okay. And then I would place that right on the front. But yours will be larger. This heart will be larger, so it'll look a little bit better because you're going to do that extra round that I'm not going to do on camera. Okay. So that's what it would look like, and that would be your pocket. Now, when you sew this on, you would work in your ends. Okay. And then you would sew from about this point and this point all the way around onto your heart using the white yarn. And then that would leave this top right here open so that you can put little gifts, or you can put a note in there, or anything that you want. Okay. But that's what it would look like, but yours would be bigger. Okay. So this is what I did just to show you. I only sewed this on from this point around to this point so that I could fit something in there. Okay. And it was the same with the larger heart pocket. I'm trying to do it on camera, I couldn't see. Okay, so the same with this one, and this is what yours will look like as it gets larger. It looks exactly the same, but it's just a little bit bigger. Okay, and it's just the same concept. Put a little note in, or whatever you want to put in there. Okay, it's just bigger. Okay, so that's what that looks like. Now, to do the edging, if you want to do the edging, I really think that the edging makes the heart look really pretty, but you don't have to do it. It does look pretty without it. But what I do for the edging, I'm just going to quickly show you this because this video has gotten very long. But we're going to still use our 5.25 millimeter hook. And, oh yeah, for this little part right here, remember I told you we had this little thing? All you're going to do is take some of your Barney yarn and you're just going to sew that up together. Okay, so that's really simple. So you do want to sew that up. Okay. And you can do that after you stuff it. Or before, whichever you prefer. But all I do to do these sides, okay, is I find a place that I like. There's no really, you know, and I take my yarn and I bring it up through there. And I work my yarn in right there. And then I just keep that space and I go all the way around doing single crochets. I just try to keep in the same line. Okay, so I would just keep working, and it's stuffed at that point, so it's even easier to see the line that you want to work in around your heart. But you're literally just going to go all the way around your heart doing single crochets. They look a little spread apart like this, as you can see, but that's okay. Okay, and you're just going to keep going all the way around, all around the edge. And you'd just be surprised if you just follow the line. It's not going to look funky. It's going to look really good, okay? And then when you get around to your other end, don't turn your work. I'm just doing this for the video. What you would do is you would start, you would chain up 3, and you would start doing 3 double crochets in each of those single crochets around, okay? And that gives it that ruffled look because you're doing 3 double crochets. Sorry, I think it's that thing. You're going to do 3 double crochets in each one of these stitches, just like this. And I'm just showing you real quick here what it'll look like. So after you do your single crochet all the way around, then you would do 3 double crochets in each stitch around to get that ruffled look. Okay? And I'm just quickly showing you here what it would look like. And then once you got around, after you did all of those, you would slip stitch and cut off and work in your yarn, okay? But that's what it would look like. As you can see, it's already starting to ruffle. Let me pull this out so I can show you. Okay? So it would just start to ruffle like that, and then you would just go all the way down and around. But you would obviously do the single crochets all the way around first and then come back and do your double crochets. It takes a little time, but I think it really adds to the pillow and makes it really pretty. But since I did turn that work, I'm just gonna go ahead and undo this. But yeah, so that's what we're doing today. I hope this was really helpful for you guys. I hope it all made sense. If you have any questions, please feel free to ask me. And if you do a pillow, please show me a picture because I love to see your finished work. And remember to like, share, subscribe, do all those great things. Hit that bell, hit the notification thing on Facebook. And yeah, thanks for watching. Happy crocheting, guys. Bye-bye.